What's up, guys? We are in day 4 of this program, and today we are doing biceps, triceps, and a little bit of forearms. So let's jump into the first thing that we're going to be attacking, which is biceps. Now, I like to attack them from different perspectives, so to speak, and that is focusing one on how to build more of a peak on your biceps, which is focusing on the long head of your biceps, and then the other is going to be building more width in your biceps, which is focusing on the short head. So to target that long head of the biceps, what we want to do is we want to stretch it slightly, and we're going to do that by putting it behind us. So by leaning back on an incline bench here like this, it's stretching that long head of the biceps, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to target it. And what we want to do with these is you want to focus on getting a lot of supination in your hand, which means turning your pinkies up. That's how you're going to get a peak contraction in your bicep. Even if I were to stick my hand over here just kind of in a relaxed state, if I were to go ahead and pronate it, you see the muscle actually relaxes. If I supinate it, it contracts. So every time you're focusing on biceps, always focus on that supination or turning those pinkies up. So we're going to start just like we start all our other exercises, our recruitment set, 20 reps. So we're starting here, leaning back, arms behind us. And you can see I start in a neutral position. So the dumbbells are actually parallel with my body, and then I'll supinate as I come up.
So it's a gradual supination. So he's not coming up to top and then twisting it. It's gradually supinating as he's going.
So what we're talking about with, putting these muscles in an ideal state, it's called length-tension relationship. And what that really means is that when a muscle's in a relaxed position or a shortened position, it makes it very difficult to get a good contraction. When it's slightly stretched, it makes it easier to get a peak contraction. So that's what we're doing here, is we're stretching that long head of the bicep slightly by putting it behind us, and it's making it easier to focus on it and getting a peak contraction. You're still going to work the short head of the biceps. Trust me, it's one muscle. They're just two different heads. So you're still working the short head, but this is more of a focus on the long head, the outer head, which is going to give you that peak. All right, so there's 20 reps. So Marc's going to jump in here, and I'm going to move over to another exercise, which is doing the exact same thing. We're focusing on putting our arm behind our body. Another way to do that is what's called a drag bar with a straight bar. And this is a straight bar biceps curl, but instead of keeping our elbows out here and curling like this, if I turn sideways, what we're going to do, drag the bar against our body. So same thing, we're doing 20 reps. So literally drag it against your stomach as you curl it up. Drag it back down. That's why they're called drag curls. Now as you're doing these, don't go too wide. Here's a good rule. The wider you go, if the more you can see the inner part of your arm, the greater the chance that you're going to end up working the inner part of the short head. So you want to go with a shoulder width grip on these. Don't go too wide. So that was a little heavy for that first set of 20 reps, so we're not going to add much more on for the second set.
5 or a 10?
I'd add only just a 5 on there.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So this is our second set, first working set, 10 reps. I think a lot of you guys aren't going to like this at first because we all like to feel strong. We all like to feel strong, and these exercises aren't designed to make you feel strong. It almost does the opposite. It puts you in a weaker state. Okay, so 3 total sets so far. We did our first recruitment set, 20 reps, 2 working sets of 10 reps. Now we're going to strip the weight off. We're going to do our final set, our burnout set with our original weight, 15 reps. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to working the short head of the biceps. All right, so now considering with a standing bar curl, I know Marc can move some serious weight. You'd be surprised at how light you can go on these and make this very effective. So right now to start for our first set, our recruitment set, 20 reps, we only have a 20-pound bar right here. So again, a nice wide grip. I like to go really wide on these.
And wide is going to make you a little bit weaker because there's less leverage. Also, you can't bring in any front delt. It's all completely arms.
And again, you're taking your long head of the biceps out of it, so you're taking half your power out of this. So you're going to feel really weak in this position. So nice wide grip. Keep your elbows in a fixed position. I don't want you swinging them. Keep them pointing down, and you got to squeeze it up. So as Marc does those, I'm going to come over to our superset here, which is going to be a standing hammer curl. What you're going to do, keeping the dumbbells parallel to each other. You're gonna keep them in this position the whole time. Keep your elbows at your sides the whole time. And you're just gonna squeeze up. And we're gonna do 20 reps. All right, so we're moving to our second set. This is our first real working set, 10 reps, jumping up in weight. Again, nice wide grip. Try to get that little squeeze at the top. Even if it's just a tiny pause. All right, so that was our last set, so that's 4 total sets, just like the others. 20 reps recruitment set, 2 sets of 10 reps, going back to our original weight to finish off our burnout set of 15 reps. All right, so finish up biceps. We are now moving on to triceps. We've got a superset, both sides of the cable machine here, and we're gonna first focus on the lateral head of the triceps. Now, just like the biceps, same thing with the triceps, in order to focus on the long head of the triceps, on our next superset, we're gonna be putting our arm over our head, and what that's doing is stretching the long head of the triceps, putting it in an ideal state for a peak contraction. So what we wanna do to target the lateral head is we wanna put the long head in a relaxed position, which is a neutral position, which means that our arm is at our side. So we're gonna do that here with a triceps push down with the rope, and then we're gonna come over and we're gonna do a single arm concentration. And that's gonna be kind of squeezing to the outside. We've got a little technique that I'm gonna show you as well to get that extra peak contraction. So starting here, 20 reps, first set. As we squeeze down, I want you to pull the rope apart. Think about pulling. If I turn towards you, it's pulling down and it's out like this. And now you see my hand position, almost trying to get my thumbs down and my pinkies
Push the
up.
rope down, but again, think about it as a single joint movement. So you have this here, this doesn't exist. Everything's stationary. You're just working at this joint right here. So you're not using any unnecessary, there's no unnecessary helpers, so to speak, from the other muscles. So you're able to get that constant tension. Again, you can use lighter weight, which puts less stress on the joints. And as you know, I'm sure you've been through it, your joints, they can get sore.
So it's not just pushing down and squeezing out. Think about pulling the rope apart. And if you can't pull the rope apart, then it's too heavy. There we go, that's 20. They should burn. I'm gonna come over here and finish our superset. And this is a single arm, so I'm actually going to stand perpendicular to the machine. What we're gonna do here, I wanna keep my elbow in this fixed position right here, pointing down. I'm gonna come down, and same thing. See that little move right here? It's kind of in the wrist. Same thing, it's thumb down, pinky up. You get that extra squeeze. If you don't feel the lateral head of your triceps doing these, then you're not doing them right. Any triceps exercise, keep your elbow in a fixed position. Your elbow should never move. So Mark and I have the exact opposite when it comes to triceps. I'm trying to work more on my lateral head. He's got great lateral head development.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of long head development, and then that's where Mark's gonna want to work to really balance out his triceps.
Exactly.
We're all built different, and so that's the purpose of a training program like this, is to learn how to target different areas so we can build up our weaknesses. So moving to second set, 10 reps. Don't go crazy with the weight. I can move this whole stack, easy. But the problem is that I'm gonna start feeling it in other muscles, and I don't wanna do that. I wanna keep the discipline, I wanna keep that strict focus, so I'm not gonna go crazy loading it up here. All right, so we're gonna go back. That is 3 sets. That was 2 working sets of 10. Now I'm dropping back to my original weight, 15 reps, finish this thing off with my burnout set. So that is our superset, focusing on that lateral head of the triceps. So now we're gonna work the long head of the triceps. So we're gonna do a superset. We are gonna come back here and do one exercise. So we're gonna jump back and forth between a incline bench and this. We're gonna move the cable down to the very bottom, because what we're gonna end up doing is an overhead extension. It's difficult to train this way because it requires a lot of patience. You have to be very methodical. It's easier to come into the gym and just jump right in and pick up some heavy weight and just go for it. This requires a methodical approach. It's probably why it works for me. That's more my personality. I am methodical. I like to dissect things, and that's what this approach, this training style is really kind of like dissecting exercises, picking them apart and isolating. So it does require a little bit of patience.
I just like to jump in balls deep. I don't even warm it up. There's no foreplay. I just go in.
All right, so instead of starting here, like a lot of people would do this, which is a skull crusher because it's coming right to your forehead, I don't do them this way. I go ahead, I kick them back. Now I'm getting that stretch on the long head of the triceps. You know what? This bench is a little bit long. So all I'm going to do here is, instead of sitting on it, I'm going to scoot up.
Most benches are going to be this length. So when you're at your gym, just see what he's doing. He's basically standing, using it as a support board. They actually do make benches like that too. I actually started doing my skull crushers like this a few years ago.
And this is also constant tension on the muscle. There is no resting point.
Yeah, if you look even down here, he's still contracted, or else because his head's in the way. And you look up here, he's actually fully contracted at the top. Whereas if you did a skull crusher, when you lock out at the top, completely relaxed. And also when you're at the way bottom, you're relaxed as well. So this just keeps constant tension on the muscle.
All right. So, Marc's going to start these. Again, the more you get your arm back, the more you're going to get that stretch on that long head of the triceps, which is what we're targeting here. Coming over here, we're supersetting. Same thing. We're going to do 20 reps. Now, just like I talked about when we're doing our push downs, you want to keep your elbow in a fixed position. I literally just keep myself in check. I'll take my finger and I'll keep on my elbow just to make sure I'm not deviating. You want to keep that elbow in a fixed position, pointing towards the ceiling, and extend up. So this is stretching that long head, allowing you to create a lot of tension on it for a peak contraction. So we put some weight on here. This is our
stand up on this thing.
Second set. It's our first working set, 10 reps. By trying to isolate as much as you can, there's no such thing as true isolation, but by isolating as much as you can, you're putting yourself in a weaker state. So don't expect to be as strong as you would on a regular skull crusher with these. Definitely feeling an arm pump for sure.
Yeah, this is definitely sick.
And that's what I'm chasing. I'm chasing that pump, chasing that burn. So that was our 2 working sets for 10 reps. We're gonna go over, we're gonna strip off the weight, and we'll do our final set, burnout set, 15 reps. Now, this one, I don't do the same rep scheme. These, it's all about a lighter weight. I just go for reps, and I'll usually focus on, 3 sets of 15. 3 sets of 20 is a bit overkill. So all it is you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna relax it, and you're gonna extend it. That's all it is right here. It's really simple. And there's not too many exercises that mimic this exact range of motion. And so that's why I use this as like a supplemental exercise. Especially because we're doing, say with those hammer curls, when you really develop your brachioradialis, you need to develop the rest of the top of your forearm to balance it out. Otherwise that brachioradialis sticks out and looks kind of funny if it's all by itself. You're not going to feel these at first. First 10 reps, feel like nothing. You can even take these to 20 if you want, because think about it. Out of all the different muscles in your body, we're designed to use our hands a lot, our fingers. That's all the muscles in our forearms right here. So sometimes it takes a little more higher repetitions to really make those muscles work without straining them. The last thing that you want is to strain your forearms.
So I'm going to finish this up now. So this is arm day. So basically we finish with 3 sets of 15 of these. Everything else follows the same rep scheme we were doing on everything.
Exact same rep scheme.
So guys, we'll finish these off. Thanks for watching. This is arm day, rebuilt, the 10-week trainer with James Grage, co-founder of BPI Sports, man. I'm ready for some chest.
So that's all we have left. That's going to be day 5 of our training program is chest day.
We'll see you guys on day 5.